Hey, what's up, y'all? So Isaiah 45:7 is going to be a passage that people will try to say proves that God is evil. But let's dive into this a little bit. It says, I form light and I create darkness. I make well-being and I create calamity. I am the Lord who does all of these things. Now, if we look at this a little bit deeper, what do we think the word calamity really means? So when Adam and Eve fell from grace and they started dying from sickness, old age, and they were cast out of the garden, that is calamity. That is a response to moral evil or disobedience to God. And if we have a creator, an infinite creator who gave us life, don't you think he might be in a position to judge us? And don't you think it might be a little bit tempting on our part to try to assume that God could be evil? I don't think we have the understanding to be able to say that. You know, just like the plagues of Egypt, the biblical flood, that was calamity in response to moral evil. That was God passing down divine judgment. And if we look at James 1:13, it says, let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. So that is a direct contradiction of the statement that God is evil. Just something for you guys to arm yourselves with. We'll catch you later. Another thing I wanted to add real quick is Romans 8:28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. I actually just thought of a really good example for that. Look at Jesus. That was horrendous what they did to him. Ultimately just evil, the way they made that man suffer. But look at the good that came out of that. I challenge you guys in your darkest moments and moments where you feel like you're being oppressed or challenged by evil to try and look for ways that you can bring good out of that situation. I'm not saying that good is always just going to magically happen. Sometimes we've got to act in God's will and be that force of good. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. We'll see you later. God bless.